Hello, welcome to this week's weekly forecast. Going to kick off with Bitcoin this week, and then do Ethereum, and then into FX. The dollar has been on a mad run at the moment, so just be trying to get in line with that. And yeah, we'll just take a look at Bitcoin. We are sitting on that support. We do have this week to go, and then that'll be the monthly close. So whether we decide to bounce from here or not, but at the moment it's very hard to fight a bullish case for Bitcoin. One thing I will say is, if we take a look at S&P, we are coming into an area of support where we bounced before. So could this be a double bottom and we get some sort of a retracement into the end of the month? If we look at the monthly candle, so could we have a little bit of a bounce? Again, if we close below and then retest, then it looks like stocks could be in trouble. But back to Bitcoin. Obviously, trend is bearish, but we are sitting around that area of higher time frame support. If I was to get long Bitcoin, I'm not looking to at the moment. We have this structure: resistance, 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 resistance. We'd have to break, retest that from the other side, and then that is where I would look for plays to the upside. But at the moment, we are underneath that higher time frame resistance, where our structure is bearish as well. We would need a push and then a pullback for me to become interested in any longs whatsoever. As I say, I'm going to let Monday unfold and then have another look and maybe go into a little bit more detail. But at the moment, price is just chopping. There's nothing for you to do. If it breaks, retest, then I'll become interested. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Let's go out to the weekly. This was the level that I was looking at. I think everybody's looking at that, but resistance, resistance, support, and we've just closed below that. Let me just zoom in so you can see. Closed below that level, and we also have recent support, could turn to resistance. We come up and retest it as resistance. So how this candle closes, if it closes bearish, we get a pullback into that area, and we could look to sell Ethereum, maybe take down these lows. So yeah, it's hard to go against the dollar at the moment. If you take a look, let's take a look at the dollar. It's on a huge tear, and I will be looking just to get in any pullbacks. It's not my job to like sort of look for tops at the moment until it gives me an indication that it's topped out, and at the moment it clearly hasn't. So to go against it would be foolish in my opinion, and we do have a bit to go. So let's take a look at a few dollar pairs. Let's look at pound. Super weak. And let's start off with a fresh chart. Now, there is nowhere really for me to try and get involved with. Let's go down into the daily. We would need a pullback to at least this candle. That is the only candle where I can see there being a little bit of support could turn to resistance, and we look to sell again. We could let Monday's range unfold and try and get involved with that. And what I mean by that is, if I go down into the hourly and we take a look at this week's Monday's range, if I'm bearish this market, if it goes above Monday's range, you can see here that was a lovely opportunity to get short. If you miss that, then Monday's low will act as support and resistance, as you can see there. And if you go back over the last few weeks, the same pattern here. We have Monday's range, that'll pop up on Tuesday, same as here. Monday's range pops up on Tuesday, sells off, pops up on Tuesday, sells off. We have Monday's range here, pops up on Tuesday, sells off before coming back. But could you have made money selling this on Tuesday? Yes. Monday's range pops up on Tuesday, sells off. Monday's range pops up on Tuesday, sells off, comes up for one more raid on Friday, gets back below Monday's high, sells off. You see where I'm coming from? So if we let Monday unfold, then maybe we could utilize Monday's range to get involved. Other than that, there's no real structure for me to trade off, but I am bearish on the pound, and I think it's just best to be going with the flow of the market until it provides something otherwise that I can work with. Let's take a look at Euro USD. very, very bearish. Start off with a clean chart. We do have this area of lows. Support, support, come back, turn to resistance, look to sell again. That's all I'm looking to do. I'm looking for any area of resistance to get involved with. Just follow structure. If you get a trigger, then look to sell Euro USD. And that'll be the same if you want to see if Monday's range unfolds, which would be perfect. Monday's range unfolds, get that pop up on Tuesday, then look to sell. Any trades I take, I will post into the group. But yeah, I'm just giving you my thoughts as we go along. Let's take a look at Kiwi. Obviously, very bearish as well. Any pullbacks? We don't really have much to work off. We'll take out this weekly candle low. Should act as resistance if we get any pullback into there. But as I say, any pullback, just look for structure break and look to get involved. I know it's not, you know, the most complicated of things, but you're just going with the flow of the market. Dollar strong. Wait on any pullbacks and then look to get involved, as I say. Sometimes you have to keep it simple. Aussie dollar, exactly the same. We do have a little bit of support here on the weekly. That'll, if we go down into the daily, you can see it a little bit clearer. So this low, support, support, support. Any pullback into that area, then we'll look to sell around 0.67. Then all I'm doing is looking for a new low, and then if we get the new low, leave a little bit on in case we get a runner. So if you're marking these charts out, all you have to do is mark out the closest area of previous support. Might turn to resistance. If it's a nice area to look for trades, because if it breaks through and retests from the other area, then you have previous support there that would support your idea for higher prices. Then all you have to do is mark out structure. Comes up. If it breaks, then the market has told you that it's not ready to fall, and you could start taking the other side of the market. But at the moment, everyone's very bearish. Dollar is very strong. Any pullback into previous support turn to resistance, then you'll be looking for selling ideas. Dollar yen is something I was anticipating the BOJ to step in. Doesn't look too appetizing in my eyes. We do have this range high, these range lows. Whilst it's in this area, I'm not too interested in. If it breaks out, retest, then I will be looking for longs on that if it breaks out to the downside. Then we may look at some yen pairs to the downside, possibly not against the dollar because the dollar is too strong. Maybe pound yen to the downside and euro yen to the downside. We'll have a look at those now. So let's take a look at pound yen. As you can see, very, very weak. We broke structure, support, support, support. We broke structure. Any pullback into an area of previous resistance turns support, and then that's where I will be looking to sell. So it's in around the 158 area. I go off areas. I'm not trying to pinpoint where it's going to turn. If it comes up into that area, I'll monitor it, and if I get the setup, then I'll take the trade. But as you can see, we're very, very bearish. So any pullbacks, I'll be looking to continue to ride that wave. Euro yen, obviously very bearish as well. Well, actually not very bearish. I mean, it could have turned, just because we've had that intervention, but we do have a little bit of structure here. Support, support. If we can break below, retest, then I'll be looking for just these lows and then these lows. I do like pound yen better. It just seems to be a lot heavier at the moment. Let's take a look at Kiwi yen actually before we wrap up. Coming down to an area of support, but also we can mark out these lows. If we bring that across, you can see previous area of support here, support here, support here, and support here. So if we can get a pullback or early on Monday, then I'll be looking to sell. Easy peasy. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there. There's not too much to go over. I'm just looking to continue with the dollar strength at the moment. It is the end of the month next week. And also I think Powell's speaking as well, which may change a few things, but as I say, I'll let Monday unfold, and then I'll go into more detail where the trades that I'm looking to get involved with. But at the moment, dollar long plays, so dollar strength plays I'm looking at, and some yen strength plays if we do get that momentum coming into the yen now after that intervention. So I wish you a profitable week. Any trades I'll take a post into the group, and I'll have another video on the website tomorrow after Monday's ranges is complete.